Well, our first season at PSG ended in a disappointment with the Champions League. In today's episode, we have a transfer special where we'll hopefully build a team that can win it next year. Let's get into it, my dudes. Before we get into today's episode, why don't you go ahead and leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment down below. Where we last left off, we got knocked out of the Champions League. So yeah, it was tough. It's time to build a squad, though, that can hopefully make it further, win the Champions League next year. That way we can end the save on a high note. Because this is going to be the final season of the Journeyman. It's time for it. It's run its course. It's time for it to end now. And I have very much enjoyed it. We've managed in some countries I didn't think we would ever manage in. But we did play a couple matches since where we last left off. And we ended the season undefeated in the league, which is a huge accomplishment. We played Stad Rennes in the last match. We went out and beat Lille 2-1 with Manny and David Gonzalez getting goals. Then we went out in 3-2 in this one. Bimba getting a brace and Russell getting a goal. Dijon, we won 4-2. Gannett, Cool, Russell, and Andre getting goals. Strasbourg, we beat 5-0. Rainer, Dragon, and Andre all banging in goals. Then we drew our last match 0-0. It was we played poor in that match. I rested some guys just because the season was over. You know? You feel me? I rested some, and people I put in didn't really play that well. We have a transfer special, though. It is time for it. We hadn't seen it yet. I didn't. I just exited out of it when it popped up. I think I can still bring it up somewhere. Where is it at? Okay, that's not it. Is that it? There we go. Season review time. There's the two trophies, League 1 and that one right there that I don't remember us winning. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I know I've hit the next button and it didn't continue. There we go. Okay, so some of these guys I brought in and some of them I didn't bring in. So we'll see how we done on some of the ones that we brought in. David Garms apparently was the signing of the season, it looks like. Yeah, and he the board was a C on that. We spent big money on him. 7.43 on his average rating. Was a really good player. I was thrilled with him. Rainer, B-. I believe our director of football brought him in 7.4. He was a really good player. I want to build off his performance next season. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. Nimick got a B+ for this signing. I paid really cheaply for this kid, and he performed well at times for us. 7.1 on that. Bimba I brought in B- on that one, and that was a 7.12. That was the last of our signings. The only other player that was brought in was David Gonzalez, and they spent the big bucks on him last season, whopping 184 million. The board, hey, they was happy with us going B+ in that. The Champions League, they was disappointed in that one. And I get it. I get it. We didn't do good. And we didn't do good in the French Cup either. French Cup, whatever you want to call it. I'm not calling it that. Because we got knocked out pretty early in that as well. Finances, sponsorship went down. Broadcast revenue went down. Corporate and hospitality did go up a little bit. Competition prize money went down a good portion. And then match day went up just a little bit. Andre, Foden, Mbappe, Odegaard, and Cool. And I am thinking at least two of these guys will not be on the squad next year. How we lined up? Let's see it. I clicked it once. Yeah, I mean, I guess I agree with that for the most part. I would put Russell on the right-hand side over Foden and Garms over here on the left-hand side instead of Matthew Jose. But the reason why he's there is just because he played more matches for us, I feel like. I've clicked it. Click it again. There we go. Okay. So, player awards, fans player of the season was Martin Odegaard, who had an excellent season. Like, shockingly good. Like, I was... Yes, fans and coaches player of the year as well for me. Fatty was young player of the season. He made a huge step forward, I feel like. Garms was the signing of the season. Russell, goal of the season. Andre had 33 goals. Odegaard had 22 assists. He had also had the most player of the matches with 9 of those, highest average rating, and most passes completed for 90 minutes. He absolutely raked in the awards. He set the record for most assists by a player in a season with 22. Mbappe had the most appearances by a player and most league goals by a player as well. So breaking some records, going down in history. I've clicked it. Okay, I'm done. We're done with the season review. I've missed the old season review. I'm not gonna lie to you. I missed the 2020 version of it. All right, let's see what we got here. Club and vision and expectation meeting for next year. They want us to play high attacking football, sign high reputation players, play possession football, make most set pieces, and play high tempo football. They want us to maintain the high. I mean, all this is the same. They want us to spend the original transfer budget, which is a lot of money. A lot of money. Dog making some noise in there. I might have to go check on him. That was kind of odd. Into the next season, they want us to win the league. They want us to reach the semifinal this time. So that is a little bit better. We can do that. I'm not going to do this on screen. We'll go ahead and accept that. I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, I kind of do most of that stuff anyways, don't I? I mean, besides the high reputation players, I really don't do that a ton. And most of this stuff is just preferred. It's not like, hey, you have to do this. So that is good. Squad in season. Yeah, all this good stuff. Missed this one. I mean, we've been here 1 year, so we don't know a ton. We didn't do a lot with those other guys there. We'll take care of that off screen. I do want to make some changes here. I'm going to go check on the dogs. They're making a lot of noise. I don't know what their deal is, but if I am in here, they have to get up and move around. If I stay in the living room, they're perfectly content the whole day. I apologize. We was looking at players that I'm considering moving on from next year, and I think we signed him to a deal this season was Robert. Yeah, we signed him to a new deal this season, I believe. Yeah, that would be right. We did sign him to a new deal. I would not mind getting rid of him. Like, I really wouldn't. He's one player that I wouldn't mind getting rid of. I signed him just to keep him happy through the rest of this season because I thought the save was going to end, and it didn't. So, yeah, we got that going for us. They're driving me absolutely crazy today. Okay, I think we may be good at this point now. He's one player that I want to get rid of. Kamara, a player that we never seen, his contract's expiring this season, so I won't be. I mean, he's leaving. Manny is a player that we could sell for the right price. I just feel like there's more players that we can sell for higher prices than him, and he could actually play a role for us next year. We do also have the kid that's on loan. Let's actually pull this up instead. Anthony Lucas. We have Anthony Lucas as well, who's a pretty good player. Probably actually a little bit better than Manny. So we have Manny. I think it might be easier to do it like this. Let's go here, okay? I can do it from here a little bit better. Striker, I actually might want to bring in somebody as a backup that we can actually use as a backup that's not Mbappe or Russell or Gonzalez, because those guys, they play in other key roles for us, and I would really prefer to have another backup striker. On the left-hand side, we got Mbappe, who will definitely be staying. Gonzalez will be staying. Then this is where it kind of gets a little interesting after that. We've got Cool, Anthony Lucas, Manny. Dragon plays on the other side. Players that I would consider selling on this side, I think, would be Foden for the right price. But I think we can bring in a good portion for still. Cool, I really would not mind selling him. I would prefer to keep Lucas and Manny. So what I'm thinking on that left-hand side, it'd be nice to have Mbappe, Gonzalez, and either Anthony Lucas or Manny as well. I think that would be the key, what we want to do there. The attacking mid, it's a little bit on the thin side, but I think it's okay. We've got Rayner, who I think can actually step up next year into the starting role. We've got Davos, who we know is a good player. He's getting a little bit old, but that's fine. We can live with him being there. And Leon Andre can drop back some as well. I don't want him to. I want him to be up top most of the time. Right-hand side, Russell's going to be starting every game for us. I mean, that's just the way it is. We got Foden as well on that side. Cool. We got Dragon. As said before, Foden and Cool, one of those two guys can go. And I would really prefer it to be Cool, but I think we can get more money for Foden. So that's what I'm looking at. I want to keep Dragon just because I think he can serve a role for us and we won't get a ton of money in for him. This is an area of concern to me right here. Midfield, we've really only got two midfield players that I feel comfortable playing, and one of them's a 2.5-star player, and that is Fatty. I mean, Fatty's a really good player. He's got a lot of potential, and obviously he's going to be part of the plans next year. Maybe he can make a step forward, and then Odegaard being our best player this last season. I wouldn't mind bringing in another kind of a box-to-box player right there, and then we can kind of move away from having to play Foden, Rayner, Cool, those kind of guys back there like we did last season. Left back situation, I love David Garms. I think that's his name. Ain't it David? Nope, not David. Dominique Garms. I love him. Great player. But this one right here, Ortiz, is a good player. Really good player. But the issue with him is he does take up a forward spot for us. So I would not mind getting rid of him. Center back, this is another area of concern we have. I feel like Gannett's probably our best center back. I mean, he's really good. I want to keep him. But as I said, Robert, I wouldn't mind selling Robert. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I would not mind selling Robert, bringing in one of those just absolute stud players at center back. Then that would leave us, whoever we bring in, Gannett, Della, and Gall, and even Bimbo. We could arguably sell one of these guys, whoever we think would be the highest person we could bring in. And then right back, I'm happy with that spot with Henrique, Nimic, and then we got the kid that we loaned out last year that did play some. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Kamara's going to be leaving. I think Coder will be leaving as well. That would leave us with Bilal in goal. And I wouldn't mind bringing in a better goalkeeper than Bilal, but it's not an absolute necessity, I feel like. I don't know. This one's a tough situation, but the areas that we definitely have to prove on is center back and midfield. That is huge concerns for me this upcoming season. Because after we played Barcelona, I realized that this area right here, we need to work on to compete at the highest level. The transfer window is now open, and I have done some business, mainly selling people. We have sold a couple of guys. That's not what I wanted to hit. Go here, transfer history. There we go. So up first, we sold Robert to Barcelona for 55 mil. I wanted more for him, but we didn't get it. That's a little bit disappointing. Then Rodolfo Ortiz left for Man City for 40.5 million. Cool went to Tottenham for 71 million. And we are rocking right now with 200 million in the transfer budget. So we have a lot of work that we can do. I am looking to spend a good portion of that pretty soon. We've already bought one player in, so that is good. I meant to go over this a second ago. We brought in Casa from Dortmund for 95 million. He is going to be a kind of a central mid player for us. I really like his versatility. He can be a Mazzala. He can be a deep line playmaker. He can be a box-to-box. If we want to, what I'm actually thinking is maybe having him as the box-to-box on most matches. I think that's what I want to do. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to do with him. That's why we brought him in. I'm really interested to see how he develops. I think he's going to be a good player for us. But after selling some players, we've got some holes to fill, particularly at left back. We need to bring in another left back option, and I'm thinking spending somewhere, if we could find a player that's like Nimic around that price. I mean, we could spend more than that, obviously, but around that ability, I would be really, really happy with that. That way, Garms is definitely going to be the main guy, but we have somebody that's capable of playing behind him if he does get banged up. Striker, I still want to bring one in. I don't know how much money I want to spend and what type of level I want to bring in. Obviously, because we got a lot of talent there that can play really well. Center back, I am currently trying to bring a player in. I'm not going to go over that yet because, man, there's got to be something for the next cut. And after that is said, after we do left back, we bring in the center back option that we want to. Maybe a striker. If we have enough left over at that point, we'll try to bring another goalkeeper in. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to have enough. We may be able to bring somebody in. It's definitely going to be a tough go with what we have left, I think, because we're spending a pretty good portion on the center back, and then the left back and striker just really depends on how much that's going to cost us. I just think it's going to be hard to find somebody that's going to be better than Bilal to bring them in. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we're standing. If that's the case, we may try looking in bringing in another left back, maybe two left backs to help out on that side. I'm pretty happy with our right backs with Nimic. Gannett can slot over there. We do have the kid that we played last year a little bit, and he's not great. He's not, but we don't need him to be great. We just need him to be kind of average and can kind of fill a role every now and then. But I'm excited about what we've brought into the club so far. I think it's really going to help us out next season. It's just now we've got to work really right here. There's rumors that Della, somebody was wanting him, and it was a ridiculous amount. If they come in with a ridiculous amount, I would consider selling him. I don't really want to with him being French. But it is definitely on the books. It's definitely something we can think about in the future. I just don't know for sure if it's something we want to do. We have started the preseason. We hadn't played any of the friendlies yet, so who knows? We'll see how those goes. I'm interested. We've got some decent competition. Nothing too crazy, but interested to see how those matches go. See who's scoring the goals for us, and then yeah, we'll be ready to start the next episode. We'll be ready to start the next season in the next episode. Hopefully, we'll get a good run. And like I said, what we will do is focus on the Champions League. Focus on the Champions League. We're going to sprinkle in some league matches, but it's not going to be near as many as it was last season. Business has been done, my dudes. I don't think anything has happened on the terms of going out that we really got to note. Robert, it looks like, was the last person that left the club. So we have brought in a couple of players, and a few of them are just squad players that we wanted to bring in to kind of give a little bit of depth. One of the players was our director of football, and I wasn't really disappointed in the player and the amount of money we spent to bring him in. So I was like, hey, that is fine. I'm good with that. But up first, we brought in Gerard from Man City for $113 million. This was the big signing that we brought in. Center back option that's four-star potential. Looks to be a really good player. I'm excited to see what he can bring to the club. He will definitely slot in as one of our normal starters. He's an important player for us. He's played for them for 4 years now on a consistent basis and has put out really good stats, really good average rating since really starting in a starting role then. But like I said, I'm really excited about him. I think he's going to be a great player for us. I hit the backspace too many times. Okay, there we go. Up next, a player that we've used in the past, D'Alessandro, left back option that we purchased for $17 million. He's a backup player, 2.5-star, 3-star potential. Like I said, he's just really for a backup. I don't think anything else besides that. We played him 9 matches when we was in Frankfurt. I believe he did get hurt. He hasn't never really had a great season, but I think he'll serve a purpose for us. That's why we brought him in. Kind of a backup. We've brought in another left back as well. But next up, a player that I'm actually really excited about, that I think we got for a bargain, and I would have been interested to see how he would have developed past this year is we're just going to call him Drias because there is no shot that I am pronouncing that last name. Go ahead and hit the backspace a couple of times. There we go, the Drias. He's a striker option that we purchased. Okay, I know I've hit the back button. There we go. Let's go back to him. Striker option, I mean, guys, he looks really good as an advanced forward. I mean, got really good technical abilities. His passing's a little bit low, but I'm okay with that. I wish his work rate was a little bit higher as well, but I mean, he looks to be really good. I'm interested to see how he does. He's a 4-star player, 5-star potential, 19-year-old. I'm thrilled about that signing. Being able to do that, we can use Gonzalez out on the left-hand side alongside Mbappe more than what we did last year. I don't think Gonzalez is going to have to start up top as much. Up next, we have a player that our director of football brought in, Diego Almada from Shakhtar, purchased him for $31.5. Another center back option that looks really good. 4-star player, 4-star potential. Now, this does create a little bit of a issue with Gannett because he's a regular starter as well. He's a regular starter as well. So we have Gannett, Diego, and the new guy that I brought in. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. What was his name? Come on. Let's work. I hit the backspace. Gerard. So we've got 3 really good center backs, and I'm interested to see how they do. It might be a change of the formation coming up next year. I don't know. I really don't. And I brought in another left back option, David, for 18.25. He can play a little bit further up the pitch. 3-star player, 3-star potential. He's 29-year-old veteran, been around for a while, and he's played at a high level for all of his career, really. And I'm excited about what we've done. I think we could potentially play 3 at the back this upcoming season because we have the depth if we want to change this up a little bit. I don't know what position I would. I mean, the obvious choice I think would be to take the number 10 out, but I don't know. I really don't know. Let's just see what we got. I mean, I kind of like doing what we did last year, really. I'll have to worry about the tactics. I mean, I think we could do something with 3 out of the back. I'll just have to look at the squad a little bit more to see what we can do. We could potentially play with. Nope, can't do that either. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It did kind of create a little bit of an issue, I think, though, with signing the Diego Almada kid. But I think we've made a lot of headway this season. I think we're really good. Looking at what we've got right now, I mean, guys, we can compete with that. I did want to bring in a backup goal. I did want to bring in a goalkeeper, but we don't have the money to do that. We've only got $12 million in the bank left to spend. So I don't see it happening. I don't see us bringing in another goalkeeper. Bilal, he won the goalkeeper of the year for League One, so definitely a good player for us still. So I'm not that worried about it. I did want to bring one in though, just to strengthen the squad a little bit more, to make that push to win the Champions League. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen for us, unfortunately. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we've got a really solid team. I could add another coach, it looks like. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I don't have anything left off. I am going to play this match off screen to Strasbourg, in that it seems like it's the Community Shield over here. So we're going to play that match. Then I've got another friendly, and then we'll probably start right here. I'm thinking that's what we'll do. We'll start the season. I'm going to mess with tactics, though. I want to see what we can do for this next match. See if we can change it up a little bit. I think it could be fun. I know this was a little bit of a shorter transfer special, and the reason for that was because we really didn't have to do a whole lot. I mean, we brought in some key players. I think that's really going to help out the club. We brought in some squad level players that I think that's going to make a huge difference for us. We needed some squad level players, and we brought that in. So, yeah, I apologize for the shorter episode. But if you enjoyed this episode, if you think we've done a good job in the transfer window, let me know down in the comments. Leave a thumbs up down below. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. And as always, my dudes, thank you for watching.